Hey everyone, this is your second check update, your stimulus update, and your stimulus package update for Monday, July 27th. In this video, I'm going to be going over what's going to be included in the Senate stimulus plan that's set to be revealed today, as well as what we still don't have answers for. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Justin and I do stimulus updates and give financial advice. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe because we're getting down to the stretch run of what's going to be in the next stimulus package. So be sure to hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video so that you will be up to date on the latest from the next stimulus package and the negotiations between the House and the Senate and getting this thing done. And if you find this content helpful in this video, be sure to like this video so that YouTube will share it with others. Congress was back in session finally last week, and we expected to hear a stimulus package that would be released by the Senate. However, we are still waiting, but it sounds like the wait should be over shortly. Yesterday on Fox News Sunday, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said regarding the next stimulus package, the Trump administration and the Senate are completely on the same page now. He also said, "We want to move forward quickly. The bill will be introduced Monday. We are prepared to act quickly." So what's in the Senate stimulus proposal? White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow spoke with CNN's Jake Tapper yesterday and went over a lot of the details with the Senate's plan. As many of you know, the federal unemployment benefit of $600 per week just expired at the end of last week. It sounds like in the Senate plan, the unemployment benefit will be extended, but it will be at a lower rate. Previously it was $600 per week, but it will be capped now at 70% of a worker's previous compensation at their job. Larry Kudlow told Jake Tapper that we have had a flood of inquiries and phone calls and complaints that small stores and businesses and restaurants can't hire people back. He continued, "Maybe last March it was necessary for that, but really the consequences of people not returning to work, we want to pay folks to go back to work." The Senate wanted to reduce that unemployment benefit to reduce the incentive for people to stay not working instead of going back to work because they were receiving more money to not work. This $600 per week unemployment benefit renewal is probably going to be a sticking point between the House and the Senate as negotiations go forward this week and next week. Kudlow also said that the Senate plan will renew the eviction moratorium because that had just expired as well. This means that any tenants in buildings that have mortgages that are guaranteed by the federal government cannot be kicked out of their apartments even if they can't pay for their rent. Kudlow also said that there would be a reemployment bonus and a tax credit incentive for people going back to work and for those businesses that are accepting people coming back to work. The details of those bonuses are not known at this time, but we should know more today when that Senate plan has been revealed. It does sound like small businesses and restaurants would be included in those benefits and tax credits. In addition to this, Larry Kudlow said that there is a $1,200 check coming that is going to be part of the new package. A $1,200 stimulus check is what most people were expecting to be part of this stimulus proposal from the Senate, and it sounds like that will be the case. It would include $1,200 for individuals and $2,400 for couples, just like in the CARES Act. So when can we expect this next $1,200 stimulus check? Well, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said the Americans would start receiving their stimulus checks in August. This goes along with the timeline that I've been saying of the third week in August at the earliest or the end of August for the next round of stimulus checks. So we'll see if they can actually stick to that timeline. Based on the timeline given by the Treasury Secretary, I expect the eligibility requirements to be the same as the first $1,200 stimulus check. And that's because if they're going to be able to get checks out as quickly as they are saying, I think the eligibility requirements are going to be similar so that they can process the checks in the same manner they did the first stimulus check, but now they should have information for a lot more people than they had going in the first stimulus check. That would enable them to get stimulus checks out faster than the first time. What we don't know as far as eligibility goes is whether those that are claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes and are over the age of 17, whether they will receive a stimulus check this time or not. The first stimulus check excluded those that were claimed as dependents But the HEROES Act that was passed back in May shows that the House of Representatives wants to include those that were claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes. I think this is going to be a sticking point and kind of a source of discussion this week in the House and the Senate, and we'll see what happens with regards to those that are claimed as dependents. We also don't know if those that owe back child support will miss out on their check just like they did in the first stimulus check. This is something we'll need to watch over the next week or two, as it has not been decided still. We did hear last week, as I reported in my last video, that debt collectors cannot take your second stimulus check. So if you lost your first stimulus check to debt collectors, you should be okay in the second stimulus check, as long as the House of Representatives approves the bill that the Senate just passed at the end of last week. And I expect that to be the case. As I've reported before, a payroll tax cut will not be part of the Senate's proposal. It sounds like it was not very popular with a lot of senators, and so they decided to leave out the payroll tax cut completely. The Senate is looking to allocate $105 billion to reopening of schools and universities. $70 billion of that money would go to help K-12 schools reopen, $30 billion would go to colleges and universities to help them reopen, and $5 billion would go to governors to be used at their own discretion. For K-12 schools, if a child's school was reopening in the fall, then that money would go to the school in that area. If schools in that area were not reopening, the money would go to the child's parents so that they can send their children to schools that are reopening, or for money to homeschool their children. The Senate proposal will most likely include liability protections for hospitals, schools, churches, and businesses to prevent them from being sued from coronavirus-related lawsuits. It also sounds like there's bipartisan support for some changes and a renewal of the PPP, or Paycheck Protection Program, for small businesses, for loans and grants that would be given to small businesses, but now it would be for those businesses that have less than 300 employees and lost out on 50% of their revenues due to shutdowns from the pandemic. Some of the PPP funds are still available, but it sounds like they want to get ahead of any lapse in coverage for the PPP loans. Hopefully the Senate stimulus plan will be released today. Once the Senate plan has been revealed, then they will have to deliberate with the House of Representatives and decide on a final plan that they can both agree on, hopefully quickly, and that can then be signed by President Trump. Over the next 2 weeks, there are going to be a lot of critical details that are being discussed, and so I will keep you up to date on all of those. So be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. This has been your stimulus update for Monday, July 27th. Thank you once again so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.